Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. So Manchester United's hunt for new players is well and truly heating up. We obviously had that bid go in for Jarrad Branthwaite, and now we're hearing that talks are intensifying for two more players, with Leny Yoro, the young Lille centre-back, being linked with a move to Manchester United, and of course Joshua Zirkzee as well. The Zirkzee deal a little bit more easy to make because Manchester United, all they have to do is meet his release clause, and it's talks that that could be about to happen. So we're going to get stuck into all these stories as well as whatever else is popping off. Obviously we had the talk about Jarrad Branthwaite as well. Is this talk around Leny Yoro just a distraction from that? Is it an alternative to that? Do we want both? Are we trying to put pressure on Everton? We'll get stuck into all of that, and we'll see where these reports are coming from as well. Make sure you're hitting that like button, you're commenting, you're sharing, you're subscribing to the channel too. We are hot on the heels of England drawing against Denmark. Rasmus Højlund and Eriksen's Denmark getting a 1-1 draw. England are top of the group, but there's a lot of talk at the moment about who's getting it wrong, what's going wrong, all those kind of things. Meanwhile, Kobbie Mainoo has been sat on the bench. Now, I know for a fact Kobbie Mainoo could sort out a lot of the issues that England are facing, especially when you're playing a right back in fucking central midfield. But I'm also of the mind that I don't want him to get involved. I really don't want him to. Keep him out of that shit show, because what's going to happen, England are going to have another disappointing tournament, and then all the blame's going to get put onto the Manchester United player or put onto Kobbie Mainoo. All that pressure, all that chat. No thank you. You heard the way they're talking about Phil Foden at the moment, who's the Premier League's best player last season, and then they're talking about him like he's a scrub. Yeah, keep Kobbie Mainoo out of that, please. Just keep him out of it for all of our sake. Well, just for Manchester United's sake. That's all I care about, to be totally honest with you. But anyway, let's get stuck into all of this talk. It comes from Sky Sports, it comes from Dharmesh Sheth, and we're hearing Manchester United have made initial contact with Lille over the signing of centre-back Leny Yoro. Now, Leny Yoro is highly rated, young centre-back, being linked with a move to all sorts of places. He was linked with a move to Manchester United, Liverpool, and we also heard from Fabrizio Romano earlier in the window, about a couple of days ago, that Manchester United had approached, do appreciate the player, but the player is waiting for Real Madrid. Now, we see this from many players. Real Madrid is a dream club for a lot of players. Unfortunately, that's the case at times, and you want to get a player, but you can't do that. Now, whilst there are reports in Spain that Real Madrid will make a move, as of yet, there's been no official move made by them. Now, all these reports could be put out there to make Real Madrid speed up by Lille and by Leny Yoro's people. Or they could be genuine, or it could just be rubbish, as we see so many times. But Manchester United's interest in is seemingly real, because David Ornstein, who is massively, massively reliable, earlier in the window as well, said Liverpool and United are actively pursuing a deal to sign Leny Yoro from Lille. Both clubs see Real Madrid as favourites, but are still pushing hard for the 18-year-old centre-back. PSG are keen too. So everyone seems to be going for this guy. Everyone seems to be pushing, and surely Liverpool, Manchester United are thinking, maybe Real Madrid aren't looking to make that move anytime soon. Maybe Real Madrid are going to hope to make it later in the window or in another transfer window. And if that's the case, can you steal a march and get in on there? It also comes with the backdrop of Manchester United having a bid rejected for Jarrad Branthwaite. We made a bid of around £35 million plus add-ons, which would take it to £43 million. Everton are saying they want £70 million, which I don't think they're going to get. Look, people will talk about the money that Manchester United have wasted on the likes of Harry Maguire, 80 million, Anthony for around a similar price, and many other players. We've lost count of all the players that Manchester United have bought for above market value. But the case is, Everton can go, oh yeah, Man United have paid this much money for these players in the past, they need to do it now. They've got different people making these negotiations. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, whoever's making these negotiations, whoever's in those meetings, whoever's sending those emails can go, hold up a minute, that was them, not us. This is a different club now. And it's important that Manchester United show that we are a different club in terms of the transfer market, in terms of chucking wages around, in terms of chucking those transfer fees around, because we can't be seen to be an easy target for clubs to get huge, huge money out of. Now, Leny Yoro seemingly could be available for around £50 million, you hear. And maybe Manchester United have gone, well, look, we've offered £43 million for Jarrad Branthwaite. These lots don't seem to be budging. They want £70 million. Let's look elsewhere. But I reiterate that when David Ornstein said that regarding Leny Yoro, Man United, Liverpool, etc., they did say that it was seen as like a separate deal to everything else, and it was like they were trying to capitalize off him being available and this fantastic young player being available. So the story from Darmez, Man United have made initial contact with Lille over the signing of centre-back Leny Yoro. Now Lille aren't going to have a preference. They're just going to want the most money. So maybe Manchester United can make a deal happen. We'll wait and see on that one. Now something that seems a little bit easier, and it's come from Sky Sports' Darmez as well, is that Manchester United are expected to meet the 33.8 million release clause in Bologna striker Joshua Zirkzee's contract. Discussions are ongoing between the two clubs. It will then be up to the player and his representatives to decide if they want to speak to United over a potential move. Now, we heard previously that Kia Jarabchian was demanding around 15 million euros off AC Milan to make the deal happen. He wanted like a 40% on as an agency fee, and we've heard that that could be smaller for Manchester United and around I think I've read varying things from 8 to 12 million euros in terms of the agency fee. So if you add that to 33 million, you could be getting a player for around 40 to 42 million pounds, which for a young up and coming striker is value for money, especially when you consider the age that he's at. Let's say it didn't work out and you had to sell him in a year or two, you can still recoup a lot of money back, because it's not like a deal like Anthony where you've gone, here's 80 million pounds, if this doesn't work, Jesus, we're gonna have to let him go for 10, 20 million. Do you know what I mean? You're still in a position where you can get most of, if not all of your money back, maybe even make a profit. Not that that's what Manchester United should be signing these younger players for, because we've got to be signing them to improve at Manchester United and help push us on to trophies and things like that. But again, I'm really pleased with the direction we're seemingly going in, and expected to meet that 33.8 million release clause in Bologna striker Joshua Zirkzee's contract. So that's the latest news regarding Manchester United at the moment, at this moment in time. Zirkzee and of course Leny Yoro, the chat right now. All the talk about Jared Brantwaite has seemingly slowed down. Casemiro was linked with a move away and linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. Then we had heard earlier in the day that the move was kind of stalling and falling apart, but we have subsequently heard in the recent hours from Ben Jacobs that Al Hilal and Al Nassr are interested in Casemiro. Saudi Arabia deal makers will be looking to pay between 30 to 35 million plus add-ons. Casemiro still needs persuading to go to Saudi Arabia. I'm sure that's just a case of getting the checkbook out and saying, how much do you want Casemiro? Because regardless of Casemiro's performances in the last season for Manchester United, when he first arrived, it was incredible. I think it ultimately comes down to legs and age. Him going to Saudi Arabia could be an ideal move for him. And you look at what he's achieved in the game, you know, his is massively high profile. He'll be more high profile than some of the players that are over there. So I can see why they'd want to bring him in, and I'd see why they want to break the bank to bring him in. And if Manchester United can recoup 30 to 35, 40 million for him, happy days. Anyway, that's the latest on what's going on with Manchester United's transfers. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Zirkzee, Yoro, Casemiro, anything else I've missed? Get your thoughts in the comments. And also, I'll see you later, because tonight we're back in action on the club. We've had some great streams this week. We were live for Scotland, Switzerland with Mick McCarthy. We were live for England versus Denmark with Hugh Wizzy and Steve-O the Madman. And we're going to be live again tonight for that big one, France against Holland. So we'll see you there on the club. See you in a bit.